Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. Drive safe, Dave here, along with
Double Check Dale.
And, of course, we have your ever-favorite, ever-young, always manning the boards behind there, Jack. What's going on this morning?
Not much.
Yeah, he hasn't had a full cup of coffee yet, so I'm not sure he's up and ready. How about you? Have you had a cup yet?
Yeah, I'm working on my second one.
Are you working on your second cup of coffee?
Yeah, that's it. So, heck, driving in this morning, Dave, I says, drive past this little gas station. The last 4 times I've drove past it, it's gone up. Price has gone up 10 cents each time. That's morning and night. It's like, shit, it's just like a spinning wheel. It's like going to Vegas one of these times.
We'll talk about that report in a second. There was a report out yesterday. We were talking about it on the air a little bit about gas fuel prices and how they're being affected dramatically. First of all, let's talk a little bit about why they're being driven that way. And of course, that is the conflict going over in Ukraine and the war that Russia is in its invasion of Ukraine. I will tell you that there was some interesting reporting going on yesterday that I witnessed. Some of it was incredible humanitarian problems going on with the shelling and the of civilian areas of housing and killing indiscriminately of civilians. Civilians always bear the brunt in these things, in these conflicts, no matter what. It just is what it is. Combatants I think they truly try to fight one another, but right now we're having some indiscriminate shelling of regions just to suppress the populace. They're just doing that. I did read yesterday, however, Zelensky is defiant as ever. They are fighting, and they are scrapping it out. They are hitting them. And I think another Russian general was killed yesterday, and the comms went down. They intercepted that information. They are scrapping it out. Did you hear any of that, Jack, that how they're going? They're still...
I want to know how many vehicles they've lost. You see all these vehicles on Twitter and tanks and stuff that the Russians have lost and troops. There's no one place where I can go and just see that. I would like to know, right?
Russia's not releasing any of that information. They're not even saying.
Well, or even estimates. Even estimates from Western sources, right? Come on, where's the New York Times with their fancy diagrams? I want a diagram, all right? or the Wall Street Journal or whatever. I need a graphic, right? I want a graphic.
You want to see the number of tanks dropping off in armored vehicles. I will tell you right now, during the fog of war, you're not going to get.
Yeah, how many left? Because we know how many they have, but how many have they lost? And can I get some estimates going?
Yeah, good luck on that. Nobody's going to send out that information if they can. I will tell you that it is affecting all markets, right, Jack? I mean, we talked about it this morning. Nickel, which Russia is one of the leading exporters of nickel.
Yeah, up $100,000 a ton.
$100,000 a ton, metric ton.
They had to close the market.
They
London.
Freeze it, right? Because it was just too volatile.
Oh, because people were just getting killed. All the big institutions couldn't deliver on it, so they had to give them a break.
No, they would have gone under.
Yeah, which they should have, because they made a dumb decision on their part.
Jack's like, hey, he's Darwin over there. He's like, all the weak, they need to go by the side. Only the strong will prevail, right, Jack?
Well, no, they're just arrogant. They probably should have. But also, though, I mean, I guess they had to. I don't know. They probably couldn't even deliver on it on the contracts, the nickel contracts. That's probably why they had to That's probably why they had to close it.
Yeah. So you got, and nickel's very important in the production of batteries. We're all trying to create all these.
Dave's Roomba. Or whatever.
Roomba, my battery, my thing at the house, that thing that goes on
a vacuum,
the little vacuum thing that runs around. We call it Rosie, the robot. And you probably don't understand that reference, do you, Jack?
No, I don't.
The Jetsons.
Yes, the Jetsons.
The Jetsons.
Hey, Brian Windsor says this morning I pumped 185 gallons at Love's. Cost him $990.
Oh, he made the 900 club this morning, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet he's gonna break it soon.
He made the 900.
He's not
club.
Stopping here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the 900 club. So once you hit that, you get to the 900 club when you start pumping $900 into your fuel tank. And then I remember there was a time years ago, I think I did 1,200 into the fuel tank. But there were days, the fuel has gone up and down, but this is another one of those really extreme moments. We talked about it yesterday. I think there was even some information that was posted out. And I believe that as long as this conflict continues, we're going to see certain constraints in certain markets, and definitely fuel is going to be one of them. And I don't anticipate it stabilizing anytime soon. There was a lot of pressure. And you know what was really funny, Jack? There was a poll done yesterday by a reputable company that said that 75% of Americans would still be okay with banning Russian oil, even if it meant higher fuel prices than what they currently have. I mean, Americans are still pretty resilient and pretty definite on that alone, right? I mean, they're pretty solid on the idea that, hey, you see it's high at the pump now, it may get higher, but you want to ban Russian oil. That's actually Putin's last, money, outside money coming in.
Hey, Dave,
right?
Dave, is your mic on?
Yeah. It is now.
It is now, okay.
All right, well, that Putin's last
Source of income.
huge source of income right now, right, is the fuel and the oil from across the world. So I think that yesterday, the United States was talking to Venezuela about ramping up its productions to basically, Venezuela is a member of OPEC. So I think OPEC was actually trying to get into the middle of trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do.
But see, the thing about Venezuela is a lot of their infrastructure hasn't been kept up over the years.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Oh, I know. Not only,
especially since a lot of foreign companies, so even Russia, a lot of foreign companies, Exxon, Chevron, they maintain the infrastructure.
Yeah.
So even when these companies will pull out, Russia won't be able to keep up that output. And yeah, with Venezuela, what private companies want to actually go in there and be you guys could just nationalize
the problem with
it.
Venezuela is you don't know what you're getting into, right?
Right. They could just nationalize it and you lose all of your equipment. All of the capital expenditures you spent. Gone.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you do it?
I know, but
there's no rule of law. That's why people like the United States or Canada.
They're talking about that, and one of the things on the table, Jack, was that they were going to allow outside security to come in and to protect its assets.
For how long?
I don't know.
Right.
Indeterminate. I mean, it's not like you're not able to make money. It's not like you can't spend money if you're pumping oil out of the ground, right? It's not like you can't afford a security service if you're pumping oil out of the ground.
Until what? International policy changes next, election cycle, right? So, if you're looking long term to spend that money, you're going to be like, yeah, I'm not going to take that risk.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Venezuela is a definite risk, but, it depends on, also, there's a
Why
lot
can't
of
we do it
times-
here? Why can't we just
This is an
drill here?
opportunity to help stabilize Venezuela, right?
Why couldn't we just drill here?
Right. Okay, I get it too.
Why couldn't we just approve the pipeline?
100%. I agree with you 100%. Let's not get into that. We'll be right back in about 60 seconds to talk a little bit about truck stops.
Truck stops.
We'll talk a little bit about truck stops right after this word. All right. So there is a poll that is just released by Trucker Path. It releases its annual ranking of the top truck stops in the United States. This right here, it says right here, the choice for chain and independent facilities for trucker-friendly services were chosen by more than 1 million of the app's mobile users. And here they are, the independent truck stops. Now, first place of the independent truck stop is Burt's Travel Plaza in Wellsville, Kansas. Second is Big Apple Travel Center in Joplin. I think I know that one very well.
Been there, done that.
Boise Stage Stop in Boise, Idaho. Russell Indy Truck and Travel Center in Glen Rio, New Mexico, and Truck World Truck Stop in Hubbard, Ohio. Those are the independents. Those are the mom and pops. Still alive, still doing well, and the top 5 right there. And then you've got your chain truck stops across the country. The Pilot in Mill Hall, Pennsylvania. The Loves in Bliss, Idaho. The Rocky Mountain Truck Centers of Little America in Green River, Wyoming. What truck driver doesn't know that place in the United States if you traveled out west? And Travel Centers of America in Oakley, Kansas, and Loves in Hamilton, Alabama. These are considered the top truck stops. These are the top 5 truck stops, whether they be independent or whether they be chain. Good to know that these guys are out there making a difference to you. If you happen to hit one of these truck stops or sitting in one of these truck stops this morning, call in, let us know what you think, what you see. And if you have your favorite, out there, make sure you drop it on a chat. Let Jack know who it is and what it is your favorite truck stop is in the United States and why. I don't want to just know what it is. I want to know why it's your favorite. Is it because Carol is behind there? Is it the sweet rolls that they have up there in north of Denver? What is the reason why? Is it Johnson's Corner with the sweet rolls? What is it and why do you have your favorite truck stop in the United States? I think it's important that we hear from each of you. If you have a chance, get these out, man. You know what? I want to hear from each and every one of you. I think it's important to know what you see, what you know, and how you feel about them. If you feel passionately about a specific truck stop or want to give a great shout out, make sure you raise your hand. Let Jack know who you are and what you got going on. We definitely want to know that fabulous truck stop that you always, and I'll tell you that one in Green River, I have stopped there a bunch. To in the middle of the day, in the middle of the night, always stopping, making sure I have a chance to find a place. Is there a truck stop you won't pass? I'm just wanting to know, is there a truck stop you just won't drive by? You've got to pull in and get in there. I remember Newton's up there on I-35. I mean, is there a truck stop you just won't go by and not stop and eat at? Or stop and visit or talk to? Can you think of one right off the bat?
Sapp Brothers in Grand Island used to be the one.
Sapp Brothers in Grand Island
used to be one that just always hit it.
Couldn't drive by it. Had to hit the
good food.
Had to pull in and had to get in there and get you some.
Yep. I mean, that's a long time ago. That's before the big chain truck stops and everything. And they were just they had a big facility. It was always well maintained, well kept, and they had good cooking. They had good cooking. So,
I mean, there's a lot of places out there that I remember that have changed dramatically over the years. The Lyman, the TA in Lyman, that used to not be a TA. That used to be Rick Griffin's years ago. But there are truck stops out there that you just can't drive by. I want to know what they are, and I want to know why. So if you have a chance, let's hear from you. You're out there. You see them every day. You go by them, or you don't go by them, whatever the case is, right? The one you can't miss. You got to get that Pepsi and that hot dog right off of the roller, and you got to go talk to Carl every time you go in there, right? Carl's always behind.
Brian Windsor wants to say, Bosselman's Grand Island, not Saps.
Okay.
Bosselman's. Who said that?
Brian Windsor.
Thank you, Mr. Windsor. Did he text that to you?
He texted that to me.
Now that dude, he's not jumping on this morning.
Everyone likes to just get in the chat room.
He just wants to hang out in the chat room. You know what, Brian? Is that your favorite? Where's your favorite stop? And it can't be the one on.
Here's Mr. Dave Mason.
What do you got, David? How you doing this morning, David?
Oh, I'm doing good.
What's the
I've
one
been
you
there
can't?
a long
Hey,
time.
David. What's the one you can't stop? What's the one you can't drive by?
If I still went by that area, it would be the ranch hand in Montpelier, Idaho.
And
Been
why?
a long time, but
Why is that?
they're pancakes.
Yeah.
All comes back to food.
You know what? And it should. And it
Amen.
should. Did you get a big stack? Were they just big? Were they just good? What? Tell me. What was the deal on the pancakes?
Oh, they were huge. They were. You remember the old steering wheels?
Oh yeah.
What the 22-inch steering wheels?
Oh yes, I still remember them quite well. I still have a good fond memory of the old steering wheels.
One of those pancakes was about the size of that steering wheel, and it was about probably a 1/4 inch thick.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
talking
it was
about.
only $1.99.
Oh man, I hope it still is even after the Ukraine war. I'm hoping it still is $1.99. I'm hoping it's not affecting our pancake prices. You never know what's going out there. All right,
Dave's pancake prices.
Dave's pancake prices. You know what? You can't pass. Sometimes you just got to stop for a good pancake.
Amen.
And you know what? And as we sit here and talk about it, I am going to get so hungry this morning. We're going to sit here and talk about good food, and I'm telling you, those were the reasons why I did stop, was for the food.
It puts you behind probably time-wise,
Do
right?
what now?
Wouldn't it put you behind time-wise, or?
No, I made that up. There was always, I don't know how to explain it, Jack. There was a time when there was always time to drive, right?
Yeah.
Do what, David?
Oh, I just laughed. I said, "Yeah, back when the old paper logs, you could always make up time."
I'll just start.
Don't go there.
I'll just start over. Oops. but yeah, you know, those days are gone, and you know, wow. And I'll tell you what, I want to hear from you, and I want to make sure that you continue to add on. I think that's something we should hear.
We got 2 more callers.
Come on, let's hear them.
Freddie Martin.
Freddie Martin, what you got going on this morning?
Give him a second to find the unmute button.
I'm good.
You hear me?
I sure can, Freddie. What you got going on this morning, sir?
Listening to you guys making me hungry, man. I was getting ready to go to work now. I want pancakes.
Exactly.
Made to go truck stop in Zachary, Louisiana. Not because they're fancy or pretty, but when they fill your plate with very good catfish.
Oh,
Yeah, and cheap.
I do like some good fried catfish.
Oh, man, I can't go past there. I said, I got to stop and get my catfish.
Okay, I got to know, Freddie. Are you a tartar sauce guy? Do you put tartar sauce on it?
No, sir, I put Louisiana Red Hot.
Louisiana red sauce.
There you go.
There you go. I'm okay with that. Do you get hush puppies or do you get French fries?
I don't get either one. I go for the biscuits.
Oh, the biscuits. Well, you know, you can't go wrong with biscuits. You put a little gravy on it or you just get it, sop it in butter.
Sop it in butter and just get it all over.
I'm telling you, you can't go wrong with that. You know what?
I'm glad you and I are not two men, because boy, we'd be two big old boys.
Boy, I think I've already started, Freddie.
I'm right behind you.
I think I've already started. I got you beat a little bit, Freddie, on the front end. I got you. I'm already. I had that long nose. All right.
If anybody get a chance to stop in there at Zachary,
Oh yeah.
not the prettiest place in the world, but man, they got some food in there.
You know what? It don't have to be pretty, right? I mean, it would. It have great food. I mean, I'm telling you, I can't. That man, you're making me want catfish, and it's early.
I may have to leave the show just to go get something to eat.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thanks, Freddie. I like to hear. Who else you got on the air? I want to hear one more.
Well, we got like 3 more people.
All right, let's hear. There is no reason I can't hear about good.
We have time today.
All right, let's go.
10 minutes. All right, Mr. Brian Winstar.
Oh, there you are, Brian. You didn't want to talk earlier.
Anyway, hey, Mr. Dover, I do agree with you 100% about Little America. When I used to run West Coast, man, I just could not drive by that place.
No, you can't.
Heated marble floors in the shower,
Yes.
39-cent ice cream, vanilla ice cream cones. That place was just a bomb diggity. But let's not forget the Jubits. That's Portland, Oregon.
Oh yeah. So, what's your go-to item? What's your go-to item?
Well, at the Jubits, absolutely the fried chicken. You know, the Jubits is all about country. And, you know, it's coming from a guy that was raised up north, but I sure do like my country cooking. So, yeah, that's what I like about that place so much. It's just kind of like a desert oasis in the middle of,
Nothing.
Nowhere. But,
Nothing. and just a desert oasis on a long road is what I call it. That's what they are. They're just spots in which you can relax and enjoy something. And even though fried chicken may not be the best for you. I mean, let's be honest. Chicken's pretty good for you, but the fried part, and I'm
Gotta have a little good, a little bad.
a little good, a little bad, but yeah, definitely like me some fried chicken. Yeah, who doesn't like fried chicken? That's right. We got to talk. Me and you're going to have some issue going country. If you can't do who can't do fried chicken?
Man, I don't know. Now we got to get some chicken waffles in here.
Vegan people, I guess.
Vegan people. Yeah. All right. There's an argument I don't want to get into right away either.
Don't start me down that road.
Don't start down that road. All right. Who else we got? Thanks, Brian.
All right, we got Lou.
What's up, Lou? How you doing, ma'am?
Hey, how y'all this morning?
I'm doing good. All right, Lou, you got to tell me. Now, you can't tell me.
Okay.
Tell me your truck stop and why.
Okay, I don't have no certain truck stop, but at Louisiana, from the beginning all the way up to 151, they have the best food at any of them that you want to go to. I got ate it every last one. I'm going down that line. From the etouffee to the fried chicken to the boudin to the crackling. I can go on and on about that food. The frog legs.
Let me tell you.
I mean, it's all Cajun food is good.
Oh, I know that's right. You know.
And then I'm like, one more. That was the South Brothers right there at Castle Bluff.
Oh, yeah.
I would go in there at breakfast time and eat the best. They had the best breakfast I ever tasted. And then afterwards, I would catch the shuttle right around the corner there and go to the casino.
Well, I will tell you about that. So my wife and I went to New Orleans a couple of years ago, or maybe it was more than that. I think it was maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago. We drove down there, and I had to stop and get some gator sausage at the Tiger's Truck Stop. I had to stop in there. Hadn't been in there in a long time. I stopped in there, and my wife almost left me. About 8 hours later, she almost left me. She had said that was the worst experience of her life, dealing with the aftermath of the gator sausage. And she thought, I almost lost her that time alone in the hotel room in New Orleans. She almost packed her bags and left town. So I'm just telling you, but yes, good food. I can definitely attribute. All right, what else you got?
All right, we got Steven and then David Mason.
What, Steven?
Good morning.
What's going on, man? What truck stop can you not drive by and why?
Eggy Sue's 50s Diner. It's not a truck stop per se, but you walk in, there's a big Betty Boop who meets you at the front door. There's a malt shop off to the left. They have the diner with all kinds of good food, and their proportions are huge. And then in the back, they have a 50s style pizzeria back there.
Where is
get
this?
My food, order my pizza to go, so I'm good to go after I hit there in Yermo, California.
Where is it at?
Yermo, California.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, guess they're not going to deliver here, huh?
Wow. You know what? That's interesting. I don't think I've been there.
Oh man, it's right across from the I can't remember the name of the military base, but there's always truck parking there. It doesn't look like much, but you get in there, there's always truck parking. Look it up, Peggy Sue's 50s Diner. They have 2 of them.
Peggy Sue's.
I can't stop by there.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. That is something that I'll put back on the back burner. You know what? I always like a good place to eat. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Let's call Uber. See if they.
Let's see if we can get a ride over to Yermo, California, and see if we can't go to Peggy Sue's Diner. All right. Who else we got? David Mason, right?
No. He had left his hand up from earlier.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Lonnie Payne says, the old Tomahawk truck stop at the bottom of Cabbage, best hot roast beef sandwich in the country.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, honestly, that I was in the good food, and I was always in the casino. I got down to the bottom of Cabbage, and I would always hit the casino. So, yeah, yes, sir. I blew a transmission going up that one time, and I was stuck there for 3 days. Not a good idea on Cabbage. But, yeah, Lonnie, I got you. Best roast beef in the world. I've been there many, many times. All right. What else we got?
That's it.
All right. Fun stuff. I'll tell you what. If you think of it, you post it up. Send it over to Jack over at BCB Live. I'll tell you what. I want to get into one thing before we get out of here, and that's about this Houston carrier that was ordered to cease operating. And I'm going to read it to you really quick.
Do that.
Yeah. So the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration has declared a Houston-based carrier as an imminent hazard, citing numerous violations and charges against one of the company's drivers in connection with a crash that killed a Tennessee sheriff's sergeant. The trucking company was issued an out-of-service order on Friday, forbidding the company to operate interstate or intrastate commerce. It says here that the driver was charged with vehicular homicide by intoxication and driving homicide by recklessness, 2 counts of reckless endangerment, possession, DUI, handgun while under the influence, and had large, enormous amounts of drug paraphernalia. It says here, after a subsequent FMCSA review, found that the motor carrier to be non-compliant with multiple safety regulations, including controlled substances and alcohol use and testing, CDL standards, driver qualifications, driver's hours of service, vehicle inspections, and repairs. And it says here that took no action to ensure its driver was eligible to drive, and had it done so, it would have discovered that the driver was not properly licensed, and that the driver was already prohibited from driving a truck due to a positive drug test in 2020. It said that the trucking company exercised no virtual oversight of its drivers and thus abdicated all responsibility for safety.
Wow. I mean, it just went down the list. They did everything wrong. And it starts with safety. I mean, it's that oversight. It's why we look at all the reports and we do what we do. We've got to stay on top of that. The drug testing. Wow. I mean, the background check, the whole works. That's just crazy.
And I bring it up, and it makes me angry because none of you out there driving want this on the road.
No,
none of you professionals want this besmirching what you do for a living and how you do it for a living. It is imperative that we continue to find these types and get them off the road, right? That we don't have this out here. And if you don't know, and if you are a new contractor or a new owner-operator with your own authority out there, make sure you do the things necessary to get the right oversight. Get somebody to help you, right? Get an advisor, right? Get with your insurance company and have them come out and do an audit, right? Yep. You want to be compliant, and you want to make sure that what you put out there is safe. This makes me angry, that we out there work very hard as a group and as a community in trucking to ensure
as an industry,
right? That we want, and it's, to me, it's more than an industry; it's a community, right? I mean, it's us, right? We want the best and safest drivers out there on the road, and we want to make sure that those that are out there have a right to be out there and a reason to be out there. not just running out there indiscriminately without paper or what have you. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and jump right into the phrase that pays. Yeah. Ready for us to continue, but not ready for us to put it. What's on your mind might be your heaviest load. Don't let it distract you while driving on the road. What's on your mind might be your heaviest load. Don't let it distract you while driving on the road. A great, great, great quote. Yep. All right, that is your phrase that pays. Make sure you write it down and be ready. And right after this, we will have Double Check. Dale, tell us a little bit about traffic and a little bit about weather.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Here we go.
Back.
Welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. When they got Double Check Dale here, we're going to go over some traffic and some weather, and then take a break, come back with some safety. And let's start in that Dallas-Fort Worth area with traffic this morning, and there is a lot of slowdowns and delays. Well, we're on the Fort Worth side, 35W, just north to south, north of the loop, all the way south of the loop down to Burleson. You are going to have slowdowns and tie-ups on either side of the lane. So if you're on 35W in Fort Worth, you're going to expect some delays. If you're in the mid-cities coming through Arlington on 30, major delays both directions there. The biggest one probably is at the 360 merger. If you get over to the Dallas side of life, most of the heavy traffic is within the loop. 635 up on the north side around Richardson, the high fives. Lots of slowdowns and major traffic up there. DNT in the Addison area, southbound, heavy traffic there and slowdowns. And then if you're coming in from Forney on 80, you have a big tie-up out in the Forney area. So lots and lots of traffic going on in Dallas this morning, heavy traffic with some tie-ups. And so just, pack your patience, slow it down, increase that space, and we'll all get there safely. Going to Houston, Interstate 10 from the west, all the way from 99 into the SHT, slow down on the eastbound lane. So heavy traffic in that direction. When you get into the downtown area, the 610 loop coming in on the Northwest Freeway, southbound, the whole works is very, very heavy traffic there. Expect some major delays and slowdowns on 290. The outer loop, other than that, looks pretty good. The inner loop, not too bad. 45 in South Houston going north. Slowdowns and heavy traffic there, but it just looks like pretty normal traffic in Houston, so just pack your patience. Kansas City is back to normal this morning. It is just about all green, so if you are in the Kansas City area, enjoy your commute. Denver looks great this morning compared to yesterday. Your major slowdowns are going to be in the Commerce City area on that 70, and then 230 or 225 in the Aurora areas where you're going to see some slowdowns. Of course, it's a little early out there, pre-rush hour traffic, but Denver looks pretty good this morning. Chicago, coming in from the west on 90 and 80 and 88. All those roads look good. If you're coming up from 55, you're going to have a little bit of slow down there in Plainville. Traffic really increases once you get inside that 294 loop on 90 and the 290. So if you don't have to go into the downtown area in Chicago, you're probably going to be pretty good. And then south of Chicago on 57, lots of heavy traffic down there in Calumet Park. And then 80 and 90 and 94 going out east into Indiana. No issues over there. So Chicago's got a pretty good commute going on this morning. I cannot say the same for Atlanta, but what I can say, it's just normal Atlanta. 20 coming in from the west is where you're going to see a major slowdown right before you get to that 285 merge point. The south loop in Atlanta, 285, looks a lot better than the north side. So if you have an opportunity and need to go around Atlanta or get across Atlanta, 285 south loop is a lot better than that north loop, because if you are on the north loop of 285, from Interstate 20 on the west side all the way around up to Sandy Springs, you have very, very heavy traffic there. Heck, actually all the way over to where it merges with 85, you're going to see very heavy traffic. A little bit of a lightens up a little bit, but then as you get closer to I-20 over on the east side, heavy traffic both directions. So Atlanta, you've got heavy traffic. Pack your patience, slow down. If you can wait it out, take a break, you might be better off. If you're on 20 over in the Stonecrest area, going east into Atlanta, all the way from Lithonia into the 285 merge point, you are going to see slowdown and heavy traffic, stop and go traffic there. So just really going to have to be patient if you're out in Atlanta this morning. Nashville, 40 coming in from the west, looks really heavy out in that West Meade area. Lots of slowdowns and really dark red, so you probably got some stop and go traffic there. 24 and coming in from the north, 24 and 65, where they merge all the way down into where they separate on the south side of East Nashville. Very, very heavy traffic there. So Nashville's got something going on out there. Just want to pack your patience if you have to go through the East Nashville side. If you can take 440 around the south side, you're probably going to be a lot better off. Briley Parkway, the 155 Briley Parkway, looks really pretty good this morning, except down in the Glencliff area where it merges with 24 on 24 coming in from the south, Beverly Heights, Bakertown area. That's where your slowdowns begin, and all the way to the 155 merge point. 40 east of town out by the airport, very, very heavy traffic there. Starts in that Elm Hill Pike area all the way into the 24 merge point. So lots of heavy traffic out in Nashville this morning. They've got it going on, so slow it down, pack your patience, increase your space. Washington, D.C., 66 from the west side of town. Have the heavy traffic starts out in the Sudley area through Centerville and Fair Oaks, all the way to the 495 loop. The 495 loop on the south side, Annandale to Springfield, very, very heavy traffic there. 395 going into downtown DC, heavy traffic there. And again, we have some slowdowns and tie-ups in Alexandria area. If we're on the north side of DC this morning, Cabin John area on 495, a major slowdown there. And then up in the Beltsville, White Oak area on 495, really, really heavy traffic there. And then on the east side of town in Seabrook, Springdale, 95, major slowdown both directions there. So, DC's got some very heavy traffic, probably some really slow moving traffic. So allow yourself some extra time to get through there. If you're going north through town, looks pretty good. North up to Baltimore looks pretty good, 95 and 295. Nothing major going on those. Once you hit the Baltimore area, from Arbutus all the way around to Pikesville on 695. Both directions, you're going to see some very, very heavy traffic. So that's your major pain point there. And then 695 up around in the Hampton, Parkville area, also some slowdowns. But Baltimore doesn't look as bad as DC this morning. Going to Philadelphia, 76 is usually the pain point, and it starts out in Conshohocken. All the way into the downtown area. 76 has got some really heavy traffic, both directions, and of course at the major merge points, it's even heavier and and more of a slowdown area. If you can stay out of the downtown Philadelphia area, you're probably going to be better off. 95 going north out of Philly on the PA side, some pretty heavy traffic coming into the downtown area. Northbound's not too bad. If you jump over to the Indiana side, it's that Haddonfield and Belmar area that you're going to see the slowdown on 295. But going north, Jersey Turnpike and 295 look pretty decent. Indianapolis, most of the roads coming into Indy, 74 and 70, 65 from the north, 69 from the north look pretty decent. It's that outer loop, the 465 loop, in the southeast corner, Beech Grove area, that we see the heavy traffic and the slowdowns this morning. And so if you're on the southeast corner of Indy on 465, that's where you're going to have the slowdowns. Like I said, all the major roads coming in or going out look pretty decent in Indy this morning. Going over to weather. Right now, we're going to take a look at some winds first. And, as we look at most of the winds that we're going to see right now are going to be on the front range of the mountains up in north of Denver, going up into Wyoming, the Elk Mountain area. That's where you're going to see some of the strongest winds, so be aware of that. If you're out in Utah, in that northeast corner of the state, a pocket of heavy wind there, maybe on I-80, so be aware of that. And then if you're out in the eastern coast area, north of New York, in the Mass, New Hampshire, Vermont, they've got some very, very strong winds going on out up in there, so be very aware of what's going on there. As we move forward through the day, the winds out east seem to shift off, but they seem to also intensify up in Wyoming, going across that I-80 corridor this afternoon into this evening. You're going to see some pretty strong winds going across there. There's 32-mile-hour winds out there on I-80 in the western part of Wyoming this evening. As we go into tomorrow morning, the winds out in the west part, again, it's that Salt Lake City area and north of Denver. The Elk Mountain area in Wyoming are going to be your major areas that we're looking to see the winds increase. And then by tomorrow afternoon, it's north of Denver or west of Denver that we see the winds. We do see a little bit out on the east coast in the DC area, but not a lot going on as far as winds. But we are starting to see some winds build coming down out of Canada through Montana, North, South Dakota, Minnesota into Iowa, and also western Kansas in the northeastern Denver. We're starting to see the winds build. So we're going to take a look at some precipitation and see what we got going on there. So right now, we look at it, we have rain showers down in the Houston Gulf Coast area through Louisiana, southern Mississippi, and Alabama. We do have some scattered snow up in Montana and northern Wyoming going into South Dakota. Let's put that into motion a little bit, see what we got going on. For later today, the snow shifts even more, covers more of Wyoming, and Nebraska is going to see some snow this afternoon through the central part, and North Platte could see some heavy snow. Goes back up into the South Dakota area. A patch of heavy snow and wet snow out in western Kansas. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see if it affects I-70 at all. And then the showers have really exploded this afternoon into this evening down in the Houston area, just to the east of Dallas, southern Arkansas, all of Louisiana, just about northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina, expecting some pretty heavy showers out there. With some of those showers could be severe. Northern Mississippi looks like they have a severe shower thunderstorm this afternoon or this evening. And as we go into those overnight hours, those thunderstorms out in the southeast move to the east, so you're going to see some severe thunderstorms in the North Carolina, central North Carolina, going into southern Virginia, and then eastern Tennessee this evening. And that snow and mixture of precipitation starts to shift a little bit to the south and east. And so by tomorrow morning, tomorrow midday, let's look at what's going on with snow and mixed precipitation. Most of Nebraska will be getting some heavy snows tomorrow during midday and later. Northern Colorado expecting some heavy snows, as is most of Utah expecting snow and some mixed precipitation out there. So it is starting to come back. And then tomorrow, around the noon hour, we take a look at what's going on out in the east. Most of eastern Ohio is going to see some rain with some heavy snow. Most of Pennsylvania, again, is going to be getting some rain with some heavy snow. Northern Pennsylvania, a pocket of just heavy snow and snow, and then going into southern New York. And some of the northeast states, Boston, New Hampshire, Kentucky, Connecticut, all expecting snow tomorrow around noon. So we'll have to keep very active weather pattern with precipitation going. As we go into tomorrow evening, the snow shifts a little bit out west. The snow shifts a little bit from most of Nebraska into western Kansas. tomorrow evening. And so we got a lot of snow going on out there. Still Denver and most of Colorado will be receiving snow tomorrow evening. The snow out on the East Coast has moved up northeast a little bit, so now Massachusetts, Vermont, Connecticut, Delaware, all those states are really picking up some snow or really have a chance for some heavy snow tomorrow evening. And those thunderstorms and rain in the Atlantic Gulf Coast have shifted to the south a little bit, so it's really the coastal areas of Mississippi, Bama, Georgia, South Carolina that are expecting some rain overnight. So we have a lot. Let's take a look at some temperatures because, it's getting to that time of year where temperatures are fluctuating a lot and really have a lot to do with what's going on with the weather. As you can see right now, it's 8 a.m. Oklahoma City is below freezing right now, as is Kansas City and St. Louis. Dallas is at 35 right now. And later today, it's a pretty moderate day. The freezing temperatures shift way back up into the north. And so, through the daylight hours, we have a lot of nice temperatures. And so that'll keep that precipitation in that heavy snow area or the rain area. But as we go into the overnight hours, the freezing temperatures come right back to it. Not as far south as this evening, but Ness City, Kansas, 29, North Platte, 25. And so those are areas that are expecting some snow this evening. So you expect some heavy and wet snow out there. As is Iowa's, all underneath freezing temperatures, northern Illinois. Tomorrow, temperature-wise, by morning, mid-morning, it's that area that we talked about a little bit ago that's going to snow. All of Colorado will be under freezing. Most of Utah is under freezing, so any precipitation that falls out there, come down to snow, but with the temperatures that have been, the ground may be warm enough. You just really have to pay attention. Get a good weather station that you trust, or we use windy.com. 511.org is a great asset for road conditions, and check on that. So like I said, a lot going on with weather. We'll keep our eye on that, and with that, we will take a short break.
All right, welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. We've heard a little bit about the weather. We've heard a little bit about the traffic. Now we need to hear a little bit about the safety topic. What do you got going on? And I think it might have a little bit to do with my sign I'm wearing today.
There you go, Dave. And it was, I didn't tell you what the safety topic was for today, but speeding is what we're talking about this week. And we already, said yesterday, speed's the number one factor in all fatal crashes. Okay, so today we talk about speeding. What else does it do? It's loss of vehicle control. When drivers speed, it makes more difficult to control their vehicles, especially when they encounter a road hazard or erratic driver, so you don't have that response time. Excess speed also makes it more difficult to steer around curves safely. And that's pretty much what that says. You got to slow down for that curve because it's a danger of rollover. So, speed is a factor in so many things, and if we just slow that chaos down, just get 3 to 5 below the speed limit, it just makes get you more time to react. Like I said, we never know when we're going to see a mattress laying out on the road or we're going to see an ambulance fall off the back. And so, if we're going a little bit slower, it gives us more reaction time. So slow your roll.
Yeah, make sure you keep it easy, keep it steady. All right, looks like we've got videos already rolling. Wow, on the cue, didn't even need it. Share the road, keep it in the lines. Yeah. I think that's the message here on the curve, right? Yeah. I just want to, this really is all about just paying attention to what's going on. That's really not, I got to, hug in the middle of the road a little bit. Oh, wait a minute, let me get out of the way and get back over between the lines.
Did you get distracted? And you just got to pay attention to that road. I mean, just distractions. Things happen so fast. It's like I said, as a distracted here, you got a little bit into the center road. Luckily, you looked up in time, got it back over. The vehicle coming at the other lane
wasn't going fast.
It wasn't going fast. I mean, speed.
Yeah,
right
absolutely. And you know what? Neither vehicle was going fast. Had they been, it could have been different, right? It could have been a little bit more hairy. It could have been a little bit scarier. But here we are driving along. Okay, I got you. The curve. Slow down and be careful on the curve.
There you go. Hey, just have to be patient here. Here's one where you just really have to be patient. And we see an emergency vehicle ahead of us, flashing lights. We got that red and white barricade. We know it's, potential for stopping there. We just have to slow down and make sure that if we're going to go around them, we have plenty of room to do that and allow them space to work. So it's about being patient and slowing the roll.
Yeah, this is almost, go back, that's almost, they were never mind. Okay. No, we're good. We'll figure it out later. Don't want to comment too long on each video and bring to light something that may be earth-shattering. And okay, what are we doing here?
Well, here it looks like we stopped and we are doing the cardinal sin, backing up on a public roadway. And we know we didn't get out and look, which is also something that if you have to back up, but never back up on a public roadway. If you miss your intersection or turn, just go up to the next one. Find a different and a safe place to turn around. Backing up on a public roadway is just never, ever, ever a good idea.
I'll wait.
No, I'm watching this. Now I'm noticing that he's turned his wheels and he's kicking that trailer way out there in the road, in the middle of the road.
Yeah,
or he or she is. Not only are we backing up, we're not keeping it straight. Look at that. Watch when we turn the wheels. We're going to kick that trailer. We're going to kick that trailer out to the middle of the road. All right. Not a good idea. Understanding that not only are you going to surprise people coming up, but now you're throwing the trailer in the middle of the road. Yeah. Right?
A lot of not things good in there. So.
No, not good here at all, man. Just go up, turn left again, and turn left one more time. And you know what? You've done a U-turn.
Yep.
3 lefts. You've done a U-turn.
That's it. And you've done it safely. Don't put that in anybody in danger. And so here we go. Here's just a nice job. I think we got a light coming up. Big picture, watching ahead, stale green light, and sees that it's changing. Does a great job stopping for it. Love to show this type of video because it goes back to that big picture, paying attention, speed management, along with stale green lights. All those tenets get played into this video here. So great job of the driver in this one.
Oh, yeah, wasn't caught off by surprise. It's just textbook right here.
Yeah.
Good job.
Watching this truck here, we got some lights on in front of him and kind of watching what's going on, and we're going to take that exit, and he thought he was too. And so we just got to, situational awareness, what's going on around us, did a nice job slowing down for it. And at the last moment, that other truck did throw its turn signal on, but it just goes to if we communicate, I believe, out there on the road, if we use those signals right away and let people know what's going on with it, gives everybody more of a chance to react favorably.
Yeah, you got to be really patient here. I think there was some indecision by the truck in front of us.
Yep.
Was unsure what to do, was not in the turn lane, but then at the last minute decided to do so. If that happens, you got to back off and give them space, right? You need to let them in. Right now, they are confused about what's going on. It's not about being right. It's about preventability.
Yeah, yield the right away.
You know what? If you have to, hit the brake here and back off and let the road clear, right? You're not forcing anything through this issue. Believe that. I'm not saying you don't have right of way. That's not what we're saying here. What I'm saying here, right here at this moment, you're pushing your way through these two trucks, and you don't really need to do that in this moment and in this time. Okay.
Good point. That's the videos this morning, sir.
Yeah, the one on when we talk about it, that's what my sign is today. It's about rollover above 35 miles an hour on a curve.
Yep.
The opportunity for rollover is there. You want to make sure that as we talk about speed, slow down. Those curves can mean the difference between being upright not being upright, believe it or not, especially on some of these more difficult curves. When you come off of the freeway, some of them actually do a 180-degree swing. Yes, sir. Come on with it.
All right, Mr. Alan Arnold.
What's up, Alan?
Good morning, Alan.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Dave, Dale. Hey, I'm not going to say anything criticizing, all right? I'm just going to say this. Seen a couple videos that could have shut the doors on this company. Do people realize that?
Yeah.
Do they really stop and take the time to realize that when they make the choices and the actions that they do? They could have closed the doors on this company. All of us could be unemployed by a careless, reckless, and you can call it a mistake if you want to, but I ain't calling those a mistake. I'm sorry.
Well, and Alan, I appreciate that. You know, these videos come from more than just these come from a lot of places, and I want to make sure you understand that we take these videos from different situations and different offerings. So, yeah, you know, I think these are moments and chances to learn. Yeah, some of them are not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. I agree with you 100%, Alan, on that and that in of itself, that we don't want these to happen, backing up on the roadway. But let me tell you that we want to make sure that we understand and we learn from them, right? We want to make sure that we, as a family, as a community, as an industry, we take from these and we get the bigger picture, and we sometimes going back and looking at it and go, oh, I was an idiot,
Yeah.
or whatever, and then going, you know what, maybe, you know what, I've done that before, I don't need to do that again. Maybe that choice, maybe this right here will keep us from making those same mistakes again. Jackie, you got one more caller? No? No, I thought you did. I thought you...
Hey, you know what?
Oh, you did? Oh, you did? I didn't see that part. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to touch on streaks, and because it's been a while since I heard them. So, you know, hey, our streaks are continuing to grow, and that's a great thing. Our preventable accident-free streak is at 67 days. That is a record, and it continues to grow every day with that. The record does. Great job. Get out and look. You know, we're at 28 days. We're a little ways from the streak or the record of 84, but again, it's one day at a time. It's one backup at a time. Make sure you're getting out and look every time you back up. If you have to double check. Do it a second time. If you have to do it a third time, get out and look a third time. Hey, and then our preventable DOT reportable accident streak is now at 88 days. We've got a long ways to go to get to 233, but again, a journey starts one step at a time, one trip at a time, one day at a time. So great job, drivers, on getting those streaks to grow. Absolutely. So, hey, as we continue to talk about some of the things that we're talking about, you know, Alan, you bring up a great, I understand the passion and the concern about some of the videos, but let's all understand that's what the videos are for. They're an open, honest look at our driving as an industry. It is a genuine look at a picture of yesterday's driving, inputted by several different companies, brought to us so that we can look at them and make genuine and good decisions going forward. Trust me, no one wants you to back up in the middle of a roadway unless directed to do so by a police officer, right? Or unless necessary to do so in an emergency situation. But that was not an emergency situation, right? That was not what that was intended. Yeah, there are moments when you have to back up. But being directed by a police officer or someone in that indication, yes, you must. But however, you know, it concerns me that we don't understand the true, genuine dangers of backing up. Because I can tell you right now, that person didn't get out and look before they backed up, did they? No, sir.
So, I mean, you're breaking all the rules of what really makes sense here and what we're teaching. Yeah, what you got, Jack?
All right, Billy Welch.
What's up, Mr. Welch?
Usually, there it is.
Can you hear me?
I can. What's going on, man?
Oh, I'm getting used to this new Zoom. I didn't know I had to unmute myself.
No, yeah. Everybody's got to unmute yourself. What?
I have a question on our new yard in Denver, actually in Brighton, Colorado. Y'all say don't back up on a public road, correct?
Don't Don't back up on. Yeah, I didn't say that you couldn't back up on a public road if there were certain situations that require it. Yes, there are not. But I'm saying as a general rule in traffic and out there on a highway in those natures, do not, sir. You know what I'm saying?
That.
There are going to be situations in which you are required to back up. There's going to be moments in which the road is blocked and there's no other way to go but in reverse. What I am telling you, sir, is I don't ever want you backing a truck up unless you get out and look first, unless you make sure that what you're doing is safe and just and correct. Does that make it a little bit better?
Yes, sir. But you see, when people park a trailer in the wrong spot and you can't turn around in the yard, I had to block 4 lanes of traffic to get into that yard backwards. And yes, I did get out and look.
There you go.
See in the video if you want to.
No, I understand, and that's a different type of situation that requires you to back into a place. I hope that you, when you do get out and look, that you find out that you make sure that it's clear. And if you have somebody to block traffic for you or to signal for you while you're doing that, that's even better. I've even been known to set out cones or what have you just to make sure that people can see or get a good visualization. A lot of the times, if you can stop the first row of traffic by your hand and tell them what you're doing, they'll block the rest of it for you. It usually, but I understand there's going to be situations in which you're required to do so. I'm just talking as a general rule on a public thoroughfare. Don't back up to make your turn. Does that make sense? That's what we're talking about. Don't back up just to because you missed your turn.
Yes, sir. That makes perfect sense. I just wanted y'all to be aware of it. I didn't know if y'all knew of the new yard or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, sir. And I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be. I was just saying as a general rule, what we're seeing here on the video and what we watched was the fact that it was a person backing up because they missed their turn in the middle of a roadway.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you and I agree that is not what we need to do, right?
Yes, sir, we do.
All right. With that, we're going to go ahead and say a quick prayer and get out of here and close for the day. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather before you today to ask for your grace in all things. Father, keep us safe, keep us protected, and keep us mindful of those around us. Father, give us the courage to go out and do what needs to be done and do your will upon the world as you see it. Father, we ask that you help those that are suffering around the world and in the Eastern Europe with what's going on. Aid and give comfort where you can in the love and demonstrate it however you can. We ask a quick end to this struggle and strife, and we ask that you help us each and every day to be better for what we are and who we are because of you and for you. Father, we ask all these things in your name we pray. Amen. All right, everybody, be safe, be kind, and be considerate. Following this show, you'll have your company programming on today at Tuesday. All right, we'll see you then at 8:15.
All right.
All right, bye, everybody.